You keep saying, I want money. And for that very reason, he still doesn't come. This simple phrase vibrates scarcity, because when you say, I want, the universe understands you don't have it. Now close your eyes for 5 seconds, breathe deeply, and repeat with me in a low voice or in thought. Money flows because I allow it. Money flows because I allow it. This phrase changes your vibration because it comes from the state of being, not from necessity. When you vibrate permission, you stop chasing, and it begins to be a channel for receiving. Your field doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to the internal state with which you vibrate. If this phrase touched you, write here in the comments, I allow the money to flow, because the simple act of declaring activates. Now, listen carefully. This video will show you why you should immediately stop saying, I want money. And what should you do instead? It's not just about words. It's about frequency, consciousness, and energetic identity. You'll understand why most people get stuck financially, even when trying to use the law of attraction. And what really changes, invisibly, when you communicate with the universe from somewhere else, a place of inner power, not lack, but stay until the end. Because the final revelation is the most powerful of all, and it is there that your perception will change levels. If you feel like you deserve more, but you're stuck in the same cycle of scarcity, listen to every word with presence. That video could be the turning point you've been quietly asking for. And before we move on, if you've ever felt a spark, if you know it makes sense even if you still don't understand why, leave the like now. Subscribe to the channel. This shows the algorithm and your subconscious that you are saying yes to this new path. Now, have you noticed how most people manifest what they don't want all the time? It's as if life is constantly listening, not what you want, but how often you talk about what's missing. The I want money is actually an energetic confirmation that you don't have it. It's a vibration of absence. It's like saying, I'm not that, but I hope it will come to me. But the universe, or the source, or the cosmic intelligence, call it what you will, does not operate by desire. It operates by coherence. And here's something that few say clearly. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And do you know what that means? That when you say, I want money, you are announcing to the universe, I am someone who wants it. And Campo delivers exactly that, more wanting. And then you go after it. Read books, watch videos, write symbolic checks, create a vision board. But your vibration is still in the want, in absence, in the search. But seeking is the opposite of allowing. And here comes the turning point. What do you want? It's not out there. It is in the universe of your perception. What changes your life is not money. It is who you become to receive it. True manifestation happens when you embody the inner state of what you desire. When you stop saying, I want, and start saying, and feeling, I am, I have, I allow it. That's why the phrase, money flows because I allow it, is so powerful. She doesn't ask, she doesn't beg, she recognizes it. It declares a flow that already exists. And here's a crucial detail. You don't manifest with the mind. You manifest with the universe. And the universe only responds to what vibrates as an internal truth. Therefore, it is not enough to just repeat positive phrases. The energy behind the sentence needs to be clean, coherent, attuned to the permission. And I know, it may seem frustrating to hear that. You've tried so hard, you've visualized, you've prayed, you've mentalized, and the money still doesn't flow, as you feel it could. But what if I told you that the problem isn't you? It's not that you're not good enough. It's just that maybe You're just trying to manifest from a broken, dark place where urgency and anxiety make more noise than trust. And it is exactly about this that I delve into in a more practical and guided way in the special material that is in the first pinned comment. If you feel like it's time to release your blocks and really get into the flow, click there. This is your password to exit want mode and enter receive mode. Let's move on, because this is just beginning. The next part will show you how you can reprogram your energetic relationship with money, without forcing, without pretending, and without expecting miracles. Because when you truly align, miracle becomes method. You don't want money. You want what you believe the money will bring: safety, freedom, peace. But as long as you associate money with an external outcome, you put it away from you. And worse, you program yourself to believe that you will only feel these things after he arrives. And then the cycle begins. You wake up feeling that something is missing. Look at the balance, feel the squeeze, remember the invoice. He takes a deep breath, a little tense, and he repeats in his thought, I need money. But right now, you're energetically affirming, I don't have, and the universe confirms it. You think you're asking for help, but he is reaffirming his absence. And that keeps you locked. It's like trying to fill a leaky glass. You put affirmations, you put intentions, but it all trickles down an invisible hole called necessity. And here's what no one told you. As long as you're vibrating need, you're not in the universe of manifestation. You are in the universe of survival. And true manifestation is not born in survival. It is born in the state of creation. This state is not forced. It is allowed. It activates when you move from the idea of wanting and into the recognition that the flow already exists, and that you just need to stop blocking yourself. Most people are always trying to open doors, but he doesn't even realize that he has the latch locked inside. You know that feeling of doing everything, but nothing walking? You are trying to manifest as someone who still sees themselves as needy, as someone who needs to be saved. But the universe does not deliver salvation. He hands over a mirror. It responds to your vibrational self-image, not to your effort. You're trying to attract money as someone who doesn't yet see themselves as ready to have it, who still feels guilt, fear, insecurity, or attachment to pain. And that's the real code that needs to be broken. There is no point in repeating phrases like, I am prosperous, with a heart that vibrates fear. There is no point in asking for abundance with an identity of scarcity. And maybe you think, but how do I get out of this? How do I change that vibration if I'm really struggling? That's the most honest question, and the answer is as powerful as it is simple. You start in the invisible, in silence, in the internal space where no one sees, but everything begins. You sit down, close your eyes, breathe, and enter into the sensation of permission. You stop asking, and he begins to allow. And here, once again, I invite you to repeat with me, now with intention. Money flows because I allow it. Money flows because I allow it. This is not just a phrase, it is a reprogramming, a return to its original frequency, because its essence is not scarce, it is abundant. You were born with the right to experience fluidity, not struggle. But someone at some point made you believe that it was necessary to suffer, sweat, deserve, to only then, perhaps, receive it. And this programmed you to be suspicious of money, to think that it comes only with effort, or that it corrupts, or that it is dirty, or that you'll never have enough. But these beliefs are not yours. They were placed. They are energetic legacies. You have the right to give back everything that doesn't belong to you and reconnect with the universe of abundance that has always been accessible, not by magic, but for coherence, by alignment. Do you know what happens when you start allowing the flow? Opportunities change, ideas arise, the right people show up, intuition sharpens. You start acting differently, not out of obligation, but out of clarity. It's as if the world responds to the new version you're emitting, and he answers, because he always responded. What you call reality is just a reflection of who you are being. And that's the key. You don't have to wait for the money to arrive to feel prosperous. You need to feel prosperous for the money to arrive. If this makes sense to you, if you want to understand how to get out of the mental mode of scarcity and activate this internal state every day, it has an essential content in the first pinned comment. It gets straight to the point, and it may be the most important step you take at this moment. Remember, the universe does not respond to those who need it. He answers to those who allow it. And you don't have to prove yourself anymore. You just need to accept it, receive, allow, and to allow yourself is, in essence, to trust again. Trust in the invisible. Trust you. Trust in the abundance that pulsates even on the darkest days. And no, this isn't about ignoring bills. It's not pretending that everything is fine. It is to remember that behind the apparent chaos, there is an intelligence guiding everything, and that this intelligence does not respond to despair. It responds to clarity, and clarity is born when you stop asking. And he begins to declare, I allow it. I am a conduit for the flow of life. Money doesn't transform who you are. Amplify, expand, and that's why it only comes with consistency when you already see yourself abundant. True abundance begins when you stop trading with the universe. And he starts to walk with him. You are not here to beg for reality. You are here to create, to remember that you are a source. There is no shortage of them. And if you've made it this far, if you're still watching, it's because something in you already knows it. Even if your mind doubts, even if fear still screams, and that's okay. Fear only screams when it is being healed. Now breathe. Close your eyes for a moment. And he feels. Imagine what your life would be like if you didn't have to chase it anymore. If the flow started to open up. If everything that seemed stuck started to move. No fight, no shortage. Only with presence, you can. You deserve it. And most importantly, you already are. So, once again, repeat quietly with intention. Money flows because I allow it. Money flows because I allow it. If this phrase resonated with you, write in the comments, I allow the flow of money. If this video touched something inside, if it reminded you of something you already knew but had forgotten, leave the like, subscribe to the channel, because its expansion does not stop here. It is just beginning. You are not here by chance. And that's what you feel now, that different silence, this little peace, that instant when your breathing slows down. That's the point of creation. Perhaps for the first time in a long time, you're not asking for anything. It's just being. And to be, that's where everything starts to change. The mind wants to run, to solve, to understand, to control. But the universe does not move by rush. It opens with presence. And now you know. What changes your reality is no longer information. It's vibration. It's the internal state that you sustain when no one is looking. So before you rush to the next technique, the next video, the next solution, stay a little more here, in this space, breathing with the universe. You don't need to do magic. You are the magic. Manifestation doesn't happen when you force it. It happens when you line up. And if there's something you can start practicing from now on, it is the decision to come back to yourself, to remember what you are, a channel, a vibrational being, a field in constant creation. The money you seek, so much is not a distant entity. It is just a frequency. And frequencies are not conquered. They access each other, and you access it when allows, when you stop blocking, when you release the controller. And he recalls, Money flows because I allow it. Do you notice how this phrase does not beg, does not demand, does not pressure? She recognizes it. She invites. It makes room. When you say this with presence, you change the invisible architecture of your reality. You start moving in a different way. He speaks differently. He thinks differently. And naturally, he starts to make different decisions. That's when the external world begins to respond. You may even think, but it's just a sentence. It is a vibrational shortcut, a password to remind you of what your soul already knows. You didn't come here to fight with life. You came to co-create with her. Abundance is not a prize. It is your natural state. But the world has taught you to doubt it. He taught you that you have to run, compete, prove. And that created noise in his field. But the silence returned. And with him, his memory. The reminder that you can live in fluidity. That you don't need to get permission. You are the permission. And every time you repeat this truth, every time you close your eyes and breathe with intention, you'll be clearing the universe, adjusting your frequency, going back to the point of origin where everything flows. So before ending this video, I beg you, do not immediately go back to your routine. Do not fall into automatic mode. Allow yourself to stay a little longer in that vibration. Feel what your life would be like if you were no longer trying to survive. But yes, blossom. You may not control the time it takes for money to arrive, but you can choose now what you are emitting. That's it. Changes everything. Life does not respond to your desires. It responds to your vibrational tone. And you're already fine-tuning that tone. Maybe you still don't see the results on the outside, but he already feels the movement inside. And that's the first sign. You are activating the universe. You're turning the key. And when that happens, the rest is a consequence. So if that resonated with you, if something in you woke up throughout this video, comment below. I allow the flow of money. This phrase is a sign of activation. It is the end point of scarcity and the beginning of conscious creation. And remember, you don't need another technique. You need presence, coherence, and a clean field. And if you want to deepen this shift, release unseen blockages and allow abundance to flow lightly. The content that is in the first pinned comment was made exactly for you. It gets straight to the point. It doesn't stall, and it can give you the energetic turn you've been quietly asking for. Now, yes, if this video brought you clarity, if it gave you a push or reminded you of something that was forgotten inside, leave the like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. This is not just a gesture. It is an act of vibrational confirmation. It's like saying to your field, I choose this frequency. I choose to walk this new path. Life listens to you, and he's listening now. And if you've heard it this far, no, it wasn't chance. It was the call, and you answered, now. He closes his eyes once more. Breathe deeply, and he whispers with intention, money flows because I allow it. Money flows because I allow it, and the flow begins now.